I've been waiting on this day since your little uppity ass came into town.
This is a compilation of all my Boondocks videos. If you do want to watch them individually, they will all be linked in the description, and if not, they're all here for you. Keep in mind, for any of my OG audience, this will be the last Boondocks video, so I appreciate the support during this time of complete inconsistency, but I swear it's been changing and it's gonna continue changing going forward. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy. Sky High's up next, and let the compilations begin. Alright chat, now picture this. Picture Soul playing, right? But this time starring Gary Anthony Williams, John Witherspoon, Snoop Dogg,
It's 50.
and
It's very important this plane leave on time.
Damn, now are you yelling at me or at me?
Monique. Alright, bet, now picture 9/11, and with that we have Soul playing too. And guess who's about to take their hightail asses to go see this movie?
I'm about to go get dressed.
Soul plane, we gonna fly on the soul plane.
And so the literal second they walk in, Robert is already fitting every single stereotype imaginable. Looking suspicious as hell. He tells the group to keep their eyes open, and when Jasmine asks why,
We're sneaking in.
so not only is this thug old ass nigga taking 3 little kids to go see a rated R movie, not only is he sneaking in illegal food into the theater, but now he's trying to sneak into the theater. That's strike 2. He then proceeds to lie to Jasmine, telling her that he bought the tickets online. Scouts on her, head ass. And when Huey had to distract the ticket guys so they could sneak in. And to do that, he starts getting on his nigga's feet.
Wait till you see the. No.
But that wasn't enough, because they almost got caught. But luckily enough, he got distracted by...
Hey, I got my ticket.
Yeah, I got a ticket for you. A one-way ticket to get the hell out of here, Negro.
My God. And so, they were able to sneak in.
You gay.
Now the literal second they sit down, Jasmine starts crying about how they snuck in and didn't pay for the movie, and it was after some dreadful manipulation from Robert. He asked for the popcorn, in which Raleigh says,
Popcorn.
I do, granddad.
but his dumb ass didn't warm it up first. So Robert takes the bag, throws that at his face, and gets up to go buy his own.
Told you.
Anyways, when he leaves, they start playing those annoying commercials before the movie starts, right? And the first one is of an old lady minding her business when some random ass dude with a cigarette chases her down, throws her into a wall, beats the living shit out of her just to snatch her purse. And then the commentary is basically trying to guilt trip people into not stealing the movie. And Jasmine is witnessing all this violence at the ripe age of 9. So obviously she was disturbed out of her mind. But you know, an old lady getting beat on and robbed wasn't enough, so he pulls out a gun at the end and... this man Robert Freeman done scarred a little girl just to go see a movie. So we slide over to Robert trying to buy some snacks, and when he looks up at the prices... and you know, at the time, them prices were a little over exaggerated, but now it's kinda accurate. Anyways, this man lives in a mansion. Robert obviously got that bread, so he orders a popcorn. And when he asks for butter, this dickhead points him to the concession stand and put the butter himself. And please be aware, the sight you're about to see might scar you for life, so please don't sue me. And Robert started crashing all the way out, and he has every reason to. Anyways, Robert makes his closing point before Uncle Ruckus interrupts him.
I see. Just cause your skin is light, bright, and 2 shades from being white, you think you too good to butter your own popcorn.
But anyways, Ruckus asks him when he got there, and Robert was appalled, talking about something. Ruckus begins to explain that he was at the ticket stand the whole time and he ain't seen him walk in, which is when Robert gives him the BS excuse he's been using all day, talking about some...
I got my tickets online.
Aha! A damn lie. I ain't never met a nigga smart enough to use a personal computer.
And so with no other options left, Robert hauls ass and escapes back into the theater.
You never take me alive, you punk asses.
Stop him!
So the second he sits down, Jasmine is immediately crying to this man, as if this man Huey ain't been warning her this whole time. And so they peep that Ruckus and the movie security team is looking for him, in which they all get down to hide. So when they finally leave, she proceeds to do one of the dumbest things I done ever seen in this show. She runs out the theater straight to a cop to snitch.
Officer, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal from the stuntman.
But Robert stopped her in time. And so as he takes her back to the theater, she's like,
I wanna go.
Shut up.
You're ruining my innocence.
Shut up.
and when they come back to the theater, Huey peeps that Jasmine is crying, so he asks Granddad what's going on, in which Robert feeds him a spoonful of bullshit. So Huey takes matters into his own hands and attempts to go stop the movie. And to do that, his plan was to get into the projector room and destroy the copy of Soul Plane. But first,
I want back.
He had to go to the bathroom. So coming back to the theater, we see that Granddad is laughing his ass off at the movie, in which he finally manipulates Jasmine into actually watching the movie, and wholeheartedly enough, she starts laughing. But that was short-lived because security spun back for a second time, in which Riley peeps, so he lets his granddad know. And then Riley's like,
Forget Jasmine, let's go.
But we couldn't.
Look, she a little girl. They not gonna give her no real time. She do what, a couple months tops? But we both got priors. We got to go.
and with the clock ticking and the movie starting to get dramatic at the same time, Riley affirms him that they're running out of time, so he has to make a choice quick. And so heroically enough, under all the pressure, he gets up, grabs Jasmine, and walks out.
Is this nigga serious?
And she gets caught immediately.
A little half and half.
And so when shit's starting to pop off, we peep Huey trying to get his way into the control room, in which when he opens the door, it looks like it's all up for grabs. But then he trips the wire. And so with security on the way, Huey knows he's gonna have to fight his way out of this one, so he reaches for his nunchucks and realizes that he left that shit in the bathroom. Oh my god. So while he runs away, he bumps into one of the workers, grabs the mop, breaks the head off, and starts using it as a bow staff. And so wasting no time, he slaps the first guard on his head, instantly dropping his ass on the floor.
Oh shit!
And the other guard looking like,
Oh shit!
and Huey more or less forces him to get sturdy, moving the bow staff through his feet to mess up his balance. And when she slaps him on the side of his head, upside his head, and then on his gut, KOing him and dropping him to the floor. And so Huey starts walking away oral farming, right? But then when he turns the corner,
I've been waiting on this day since your little uppity ass came into town.
and so Ruckus hits him with a Bruce Lee signature, both of them getting ready to box. And at the same time, the movie that they were watching was picking up too, both events reaching the climax.
Is this nigga serious?
So after another 10 seconds of this, he finally poses up. And so Ruckus charges at him, slanging. Pause. Tries to hit him a few times, but Huey blocks each one. And yeah, it's perfectly in sync with the movie, with 50 Cent knocking that nigga out. And as he did it, he said, and so coming back to the fight, Huey tries taking this man's head off, in which Ruckus hits him with that UI energy, talking about some. Then Huey goes in for a 3-piece, then out.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, that's right. We never come back to this fight. But anyways, as they're bossing, Robert says,
It doesn't seem right. I'm going back, turning myself in.
nigga, what?
Turn yourself. Granddad, look, come on. I mean, I love Huey. Almost like a brother, but what's done is done. We got to let go of the past.
But anyways, Riley convinces him otherwise, and they do actually go home.
That's right, Ruckus. We snuck into the movie too.
You said you was gonna turn yourself in.
Anyway, security pulls up and lets them know that everyone who was working in that theater quit that same day, all because of what Huey said to one of the employees earlier. And in doing so, it let them free. Fuck! But y'all remember about a minute ago, these two never finished their fight.
Hey, can you guys wait here a sec? There's something I need to take care of.
Now, we open Act 1 with Robert going through an online dating app, in which at the time was a new thing. And his generation of people were the first to experience what we like to call catfishing, the process of luring someone into a relationship by means of a fictional online persona. And my man's Robert had it the worst. Oh! Anyways, Robert goes in for a few more rounds of straight ones until finally he stumbles across Luna, a woman he found so beautiful he thought he struck gold. Now she arrives in good fashion, in which she was indeed not a catfish. Yeah! Anyways, Robert makes a grave mistake and lets Luna into his home, gassing her up, in which she returns the favor saying,
Come on in, cutie pie.
You look just like your picture too. Except you're wearing clothes.
and she introduces herself to the kids, with Riley skipping all types of introductions, cutting straight to it, talking about some,
You want a drink, a soda?
That's a big bitch.
Anyways, we slide over to them having dinner with Robert and Luna, having a marvelous time, laughing until their heart's content, man. You love to see it. She then explains the kinds of dolls she has, in which it was pretty innocent to start off with. You know what I'm saying? 1 Dalmatian, 2 retrievers, and
15 wolves.
Wolves.
What did he say?
Oh, hell no. Cause she goes on to say she was raised around wolves. My guy, in what environment will someone need to be in to be raised by wolves, gang? Now, Robert goes on to ask how long she's been kickboxing for, but then she goes on to explain how she does a variety of martial arts. And apparently it's called
White Lotus Kung Fu.
She explains that this crazy ex-boyfriend she had one time was a Shaolin monk and learned it from him. Man, what type of niggas has she done been with? How do you go from a Shaolin monk to a 120-year-old, I'm not joking, 120-year-old grandfather? And she then explains that she...
Then I ended up having to use it on him, if you know what I mean.
And you see, at this moment, I would have left faster than Will Smith did after he slapped Chris Rock, cause hell... Now, Robert proceeds to damn Huey to hell, letting her know that he's into martial arts as well, which, oh my god, we'll get into in 1 second. Anyway, she gets excited and asks if he's ever heard of the
Kumite?
Oh no. For those who don't know, the Kumite is an invitation to a martial arts tournament with some of the deadliest martial artists in the world. And Huey actually doubted its existence, but Luna does him the pleasure of letting him know.
It's really real.
And she explains it like it's some vacation on a tropical beach, my nigga. As she's explaining it, we see her rip the heart from what seems to look like Toto on extra gear, in which she actually won the entire Kumite.
I mean, I'm like, you kill one man, you kill a dozen. It's all the same.
Alright, y'all, this family is fucking. Make sure you pack it up. Come on, chop chop. Anyways, they all excuse themselves to the bathroom to create a game plan to get this killer kung fu wolf bitch, see what I did there? Out their house. In which this man Robert obviously not mature enough to handle business, so Huey grows a pair and walks out the door, but before he does, he turns around and tells his fam,
You two just stay here.
So Huey goes on a special ops mission to look for Luna until he finds her talking to her friend who will be very important to the story in due time. Nonetheless, she's like,
let me call you back.
And she asks about Robert's well-being, in which Huey lets her know he's just taking a shit. He then goes on to glaze a little bit, telling her that it's
pretty impressive being a White Lotus master.
And she hits this video's thumbnail shot with maximum efficiency before thanking him. Then Huey says,
It's just, I had heard there were no White Lotus masters left alive.
Maybe you would like a demonstration. What about a friendly sparring match?
And they square up. Huey goes in for a punch and they start clashing for a little bit until she starts getting the upper hand, kneeing that boy in his chest, elbowing him on his back, and kneeing him once more, but this time on his face. And during all of this, Riley and Robert were listening to the absolute demolishment that was taking place before the door opens and Huey drops to the floor, but not before saying,
Let's get out while we can.
Lord have mercy, this man went on a date with an old man and immediately started beating on his grandson. Oh my god. We have now concluded Act 1. So far, we have found out she has murdered people in cold blood, joined the most deadly martial arts tournament that was believed to be a myth, and won. And now she has brought that energy into the kind soul's home that is Robert Jebediah Freeman. And with that, we move on to Act 2. Now we open Act 2 with Robert tweaking the hell out with Huey telling him to relax, but how is he supposed to do that with the black Natasha Romanoff in his house? You see how the two doesn't correlate? Oh, and by the way, they were in the bathroom for the entire night. Ah, shit you not, we cut to the entire next day with Luna on the phone with her cop blocking friend saying,
I haven't seen him since dinner. I think he was in the bathroom all night.
That's fine, girl. You don't need to be giving him no ass yet anyway.
Luna explains her concern on how she thinks it'll be weird after she just beat on his grandson, and for the record, yes, it will be. But that concern quickly turns to rage as she punches a whole crater.
Why did I do that?
In the wall. Now we slide to the family going over a game plan on how the hell they're gonna get Shaquisha Romanoff out their house.
Hey, y'all.
Let me get this right now. My cousin Elliot in California passed away very suddenly while working out. And they think it's a heart attack. They're not sure. We weren't very close. Yeah, they say that. We weren't very close.
Now Huey reassures him that the plan is foolproof and to not change a single thing about this story. And well...
But you know what I forgot? Today is Fidel Castro's birthday, and I'm in charge of the birthday party.
Now see, he went completely off script, but somehow this actually worked. She responds so well saying,
Wow, I thought you were gonna tell me you thought I was crazy and you didn't want to see me again like the others.
Yeah, so Robert lets her know he can call her as soon as he gets back from Cuba searching for Tupac, in which she actually leaves. They wave her off with proper etiquette and go back inside to celebrate.
Bye to no more weekend visits by crazy internet women.
Christ is avoided, am I right, y'all?
No.
All I know is you drove all them hours to spend time with him and he gonna send you home early? I don't give a fuck if it was Jesus' birthday.
He said he'd invite me back soon.
Soon? Psst, when is soon?
You're right.
And just so you know, I Googled Fidel Castro's birthday. It isn't until August 13th.
So she drives all the way back to find Robert talking all types of shit about Luna. She overhears Ruckus chatting straight racism until she hears Robert say,
Well, I was really hoping it would work out with this one.
Me too, baby.
Oh, well, at least I got that crazy bitch out of my house.
and as you all can guess, she did not take this well. Her friend starts throwing out ideas that'll land her a solid 35 years in a federal prison, but ultimately she decides to tell Luna to kidnap and torture him to show him what crazy is. And that is a direct quote from said friend. Send this bitch to Arkham Asylum now. And with that, we conclude Act 2. And I gotta tell you, a recap is not needed because what comes next is some diabolical activity. So strap in, because we now enter the final act. Now the kids arrive at the crib looking for their granddad, in which they can't seem to find him. Riley tries calling his cell, but his phone was dead, and that was when Huey realized the place has been broken into, but before he could do anything about it, this bitch shuts and screws the door shut, trapping 2 minors in a room, give her 15 years. And while she's doing it, she talking about some.
Don't worry, boys. I just want to have a friendly chat with your grandfather about honesty.
No, Luna. I told you we should have shot that bitch.
Now with them trapped in the room, she camps out waiting for Robert to return home from playing chess with Ruckus. In which when he finally did, this man was harmonizing out here sounding like Mariah Carey, singing about the fact that he got her out, but she in fact was not. So she puts my goat to sleep and Robert wakes up to a whole desert eagle in his face. And she starts chirping about,
Why did you lie to me, Robert? You're just like the other.
And Robert wastes no time admitting to everything, but then starts to chat nonsense saying,
I love it when people lie to me. It means they care enough to spare my feelings.
and she hits him with this.
I heard you tell your friend I was crazy. Is that what you think? You think I'm crazy?
Man, look at her eyes. I give bro a 3 out of 10 chance he makes it out at best, because this woman ready to blow his brains right there. He hesitates to answer the question until she says, "Do not lie to me." If I had a crazy ex and she put me to sleep in my house and I wake up to her holding a gun to my head, nigga, you won't hear a peep from me. I die from fear alone. Anyways, he starts screaming until they're interrupted by Luna's friend, who proceeds to speak devilish lines in Luna's ear, and I quote, "Now remember, queen, none of this was your fault. I mean, to hell with accountability. This man took your weekend from you. 2 days you'll never get back. You gotta Swiss cheese his ass." Oh Lord, someone save my goat. The kids start banging on the window because they saw Tom the Ball pulling up, in which Luna stops them by telling them,
Either of you make a sound, I will butt rape your grandfather with this broomstick.
Boys, don't make any noise. Shh.
Lord have mercy. Alright, I guess Tom is her last hope. Let's see if he clutches up.
It's just that I got an email from Huey this morning, and it reads, "Dear Tom, my granddad kicked a woman named Luna," that would be you, "out of the house, and she may return and
My God, he can't do shit right, nigga. Just, I can't believe I'm saying this. Call the cops. She lies to Tom saying how her and Robert passed things up, and his 12 years of schooling to get a whole law degree clearly didn't mean shit, because he continues to read the paper, digging himself deeper in the hole, and well, he gets kidnapped. We now see both of them kidnapped in bed, with Robert telling her to let them go. But instead of doing what he asked, she proceeds to burst into tears expressing how she felt, which leads to a third act flashback. And man, this was sad. She breaks the news that she was raised in an abusive household, and when she turned 17, she started dating a triad leader. And like mother, like daughter, And basically, she ended up in every abusive relationship imaginable. Verbal.
I told you not to wash my bloody ski mask with detergent because it irritates my fucking eczema!
Spiritual.
You without me equals shit. You understand that, you ugly fat bitch?
And you know, the more she talks, the more I understand Luna. Bitch, you crazy, you got to go! Anyways, Robert starts shining a mirror to let her know that her bad taste in men is why she's like this. She then goes on to say she ain't even want to kidnap him, she was just listening to her friend Nicole. Yes, everyone, Nicole is the name of the demon who caused all of this. Now she rants about how she'll never find love and proposes the idea of,
I might as well just blow myself up right now.
No!
and because of Robert's quick thinking, not Tom, he fake sympathizes with Luna and convinces her to cut them free. She walks out of the house and lets her friend know what happened, and this bitch Nicole basically gaslights her into thinking the advice Robert gave her was bad, and proceeds to say,
If a man said that to me, oh my God, I don't think I can handle it. I would just freaking die.
and so she takes her life with a grenade, which concludes this story of Luna, the killer kung fu wolf bitch.
Hello? Hello? What was that noise? Anyway, like I said, girl, if a man ever said that to me, I'll kill myself. I mean, you're a stronger woman than me.
Even in her death, her friend is still giving bad advice. Now see, the lesson here, don't ever be like Luna. Shit, really, Nicole, this whole thing was literally her fault. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to my late Christmas special. I put a lot of effort into this one, so I hope you enjoy Home Alone, but Boondocks themed.
I ain't got no motherfucker. So I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. West side, bad boy killer. You know who the realest is, niggas.
Alright, so the episode starts off with Granddad watching this stank booty, and my guy's kind of having a good time. We pan to a shot of his cheeks right before the kids take their fight to the bathroom. And this man is pissed. He's like,
All you do is fight, eat, and fuck up my house.
So after a reasonable crash out from Granddad, it pans to him playing poker with Tom Dubois and Uncle Ruckus, complaining about how the two YNs are always fucking up the house and always stressing him out towards the end of his life, and he's just not going for it.
I can't even go to dinner. I can't even go to a damn movie. I come back, my house look like Baghdad.
Then Ruckus hits him with a bright idea saying,
I told you before you ought to drive them out to the middle of nowhere, leave them for dead, and just hope for the very worst.
but Tom reminds him that it's holiday season, and he's like, oh, it's holiday season, we don't gotta do none of that. Hey, listen, Robert, I think you just need a great vacation. Shit, you know what, you low-key not lying. Yeah, and you should invite me with you. And Granddad was low-key considering, so he thought about it for a second, and he,
So then my dream got really weird, because I was a mummy and a Japanese girl pop.
5 minutes later.
Huh? No! No! Please, wait, no! Wait a minute!
But I don't.
he realized he probably would just scare the heads away. Oh yeah, and also at the end of his vision of what would happen, Jay-Z was actually in there.
So what do you say? Should I call my travel agent or what, huh?
Yeah, let me, check my schedule.
That man is not checking the schedule. But we then cut to different times when Granddad actually tried to hire babysitters for his kids. One of which Riley shot her in the head with a BB gun, which landed them on don'tsit'em.com, a site where basically it shows kids where no teenager can babysit. Only the most vicious and cruel kids are on this site, i.e. Huey and Riley Freeman. And so he tries hiring a British super nanny, which actually worked, but she started using up all his stuff, and you know black dads.
Hey, man. What you doing?
I'm taking canned goods to school for the needy.
That's $2.89 worth of food.
They do not play about their money. And so Granddad packs his stuff getting ready to leave. He tells his kids that he left food money on the cabinet, and he's like,
But that's all you're gonna get, so you better make it last.
and obviously he can't leave two little boys alone, so he got none other than
Hey there, Robert. I'd offer to help you with your bag, but you're a coon.
a goat. So then we cut to Granddad waiting in the airport for his flight. The lady on the intercom says,
Please do not look Muslim at the airport.
and Granddad gets a little irritated waiting in line. Rightfully so. So after getting security checked not once, but 2 times, he tries to make it to the boarding station and
Boarding pass and ID.
but finally he makes it to his motel room in Costa Rica and falls straight to sleep. And with that said, it's Tom. We cut back to the Freeman household where Uncle Ruck is telling Huey and Riley that if they break the rules,
I'm calling up the mob.
And obviously Huey and Riley was not going for that shit. So then they start getting ready for their guns like they're getting ready for a John Wick scene. Then they roll up to Uncle Ruckus getting ready to take a bite out of a sandwich and he's like,
what the?
And they start laying that fire on him. One of them is his nutsack and he screams. But eventually he runs behind cover and Huey runs out of ammo. So then Riley tosses him another gun talking about something.
Anybody?
Woo, that shit was crazy! But then Huey climbs on top of the table counter, finds him, and then they run him outside. And at this current moment, all might seem well, but best believe things start hitting the fan real soon. In the very next scene, Huey opens the little cabinet, checking if the money's there, and he's like, alright, cool. He walks over to the living room, peeping that Riley's being an absolute mess. I don't even know how an 8-year-old kid can make this type of mess in the span of 8 hours. Anyways, Huey tells him,
Hey, while Granddad's gone, I'm in charge. Why do you get to be in charge? Why can't we take turns? Because I'm the oldest. Yeah, well, you also the gayest.
And at the end of it, he says,
Man, clean it up now. Clean it up, bitch.
So then after the doorbell rang, he walks up to the door and he sees that it's Tom Dubois.
Hey there, Huey. Is your grandfather in?
Now don't forget, he really wanted to go to Costa Rica with Granddad, and Granddad was not going for it. Which is why he told Huey that if Mr. Dubois ever came by the house,
say I went to the store.
And that's exactly what Huey does. So then Huey starts getting a little hungry, so he looks for the money and, oh God, yep, here we go.
Money. What up?
This man done took the money to buy himself some drip. And I ain't gonna lie, he do look kind of clean though.
Okay.
So rightfully so, Huey gets pissed and throws his little brother on the ground, tearing up his shirt, and Riley was livid. He was like,
Saying you ain't had to ruin my shirt like that. I can't even pop my collar no more.
And Huey not worried about anything that boy talking about. He over here asking himself,
I gotta figure out what we're gonna eat.
Then that boy Riley has the nerve to tell his brother,
You supposed to be in charge. You supposed to be the leader. Lead us to some breakfast then, nigga.
So Riley sees that stern face his brother's making and he hits him with a,
What you want, some nigga? Huh? Alright, come on, nigga, let's go. I've been waiting.
But then Huey being the mature brother that he is, he's like, I'm grounding you. And Riley being the absolute definition of what a YN is, he...
Talking about I'm grounded. I'm young Reezy. I goes where I wanna go.
And then the second he opens that door...
You grounded.
And you would think that'd be enough of a message to let him know, but hell nah. And we gonna come back to it in a second. Alright, so following suit to the next scene, we cut to Huey confiscating Riley's guns. And when Riley pees what his brother's doing, he hits him with a,
Huey, where my gun? I confiscated them for security reasons. I have supreme authority over the house until Granddad comes back.
Now personally, I don't know who the hell Huey think he is, acting like he G.I. Joe or something. Then Riley says, if you gonna stop me, you gonna have to shoot me. So afterwards, Tom knocks on the door, checking up on the household again. He asks Huey where his granddad is, and Huey hits him with the same line saying,
He's still at the store, Mr. Dubois.
So then obviously Tom wasn't buying it, so he was like, oh really? That's how he feel? And the guy be like, asking all them questions. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements. A Stuman? I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the biggest if you know your nose. Anyways, back to it. But he ends up just walking off anyways, because obviously he's not the type of dude to stand 10 toes. But then later that same night, Riley had the bright idea to break the window and try and crawl his way down using some bed sheets. And you know, always going good until...
Whoa, hey, quit playing, nigga. Huey, quit playing.
Nah, this nigga crazy, bro. So now Huey obviously can't trust his younger brother to listen to his words, so what he does is barricades all the windows, barricades the door, and handcuffs Riley like he's his prisoner and makes him does his laundry. I ain't gonna lie, call it what you want to, but this man Huey is definitely destined to be some 5-star general, because this is crazy. I don't even think their granddad can get this discipline out of Riley. Speaking of, we come right back to Granddad living it up. So we come back to Riley in his prison outfit eating some chowder soup with Huey spitting some Nelson Mandela type bars talking about some.
More and more, I started to hate Riley for driving Granddad away.
Man, I don't know who directed this episode, but they cooked. Matter of fact, this whole show got so many good scenes like this.
Oh no, I ain't come looking for no little bars. I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt.
Wait, hold on, no. Anyways, we cut back to Granddad living it up, playing word search in Costa Rica in his hotel room, alone. And rightfully so, Anyways, he ends up going to sleep at 6:21 p.m. And we slide back over to Huey barely getting any sleep watching Riley. That boy just waiting for him to slip up. Huey even asked himself,
I soon forgot which one of us was the prisoner.
So it rolls over to the next day with them eating breakfast. Then the phone rings and when Huey picks up...
Hello?
Hey, boy.
Hey, Granddad. How's the trip? You ready to come home?
Ah, man, it's moments like this, bro. You can tell that boy was so excited hearing his granddad's voice. I mean, they start chopping it up, and in the middle of it...
So what's new? What you mad at this week?
Hey, Granddad, I gotta go.
So he throws his little brother's ass in the closet, and you could tell Huey was slipping up because out of anywhere he could have put his little brother, he puts him in the one place where it's the easiest to pick the lock on the closet. That boy Tom came back for a third time.
I know where he is. I'm not stupid. He went on the do it big trip without me, didn't he?
Well, no fucking shit.
I ain't gonna lie, if I were Huey, I would have just... Shut your stupid... Now Huey comes back to the closet where Riley was staying at, asking him if he's ready to come out. And I'm pretty sure he was asking in more than one way. But when he opens the door, that boy already came out the closet. So Huey starts tripping out. He's like, shit. And activates his inner Robert McCall and starts looking for him. And as soon as he turns the corner, that boy Riley already posted up. And it was on sight. As soon as he looked around the corner, that boy started lighting him up. And Huey starts kicking rocks. He ducks behind some cover right before Riley hits him with a...
Say hello to the back guy.
Huey low-key making this way more personal than he needs to be, saying...
Damn you, Riley. You ruined our family. You drove Granddad away. Now he's never coming back.
And then Riley says...
Granddad left because of you. Nobody likes you, Huey, because you a gay-ass hater, fake.
I'm not gonna lie, I cannot finish what he was about to say there or else. So Huey starts firing back, trying to create an opening to get out that little corner. And once he does, he runs down the stairs, but Riley is on his ass. That boy starts sliding down the stairs like he Akira or something, trying to hit his ass with a kickball. And somehow during this entire time, they didn't hit each other once. But anyway, Huey moves out the way and Riley tramples over. So he loses his akimbo and pulls out his little Uzi no vert. And then he says... Man, Regina King is a good voice actor. I do not want to hear otherwise. So Huey gets pinned up again behind the couch. So obviously with his intelligent IQ, he throws the pillow as a distraction. And he runs up on him with the pistol, stop, plop, 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 plop. Closing the distance, and he kicks that man across his head. So now he got his little brother at gunpoint getting ready to finish him off. But right when he was about to pull the trigger, so then they run for both guns, they pick him up, and then they get each other at gunpoint. And then Huey says,
why does it always have to end up like this? Cause you's a bitch.
The director's cooked. Now they pop each other in the head and they both get knocked out. Anyways, day becomes night and Granddad finally came home early. When he opens the door, he sees his two grandsons laying down. Yes, they've been laying there literally the whole flipping day. Then he calls out their name, and when they wake up...
Granddad! Granddad!
Hey!
Man, this might be one of the most wholesome moments this whole show. Moral of the story, y'all, appreciate your loved ones, because you never know when they can go. That, folks, is the end of Home Alone, but Boondocks themed. Hope y'all enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment, follow my Instagram. Goodbye. Oh, and Merry Christmas, everybody. Shut your stupid... Happy New Year's. And then he launches that shit. And so this woman flips so eloquently that it plays 3 different fucking times. And then she kicks the fuck out that ball.
Home run.
Now for those of you who want context as to what happened before this event, I'm gonna go ahead and make this quick for you. So long story short, basically Huey played kickball for Mr. Oncer in the past and he crippled a little girl in the process due to Huey being that guy. But it turned out Mr. Oncer faked that little girl's injury to get Huey to quit, simply because he's built different. He didn't want to see a black man win. But times have changed and this Dr. Eggman looking nigga put up their whole neighborhood as collateral for this game. And so, Huey has no choice. He got his crew together and they got ready for war.
Let's get ready to rumble!
So our first matchup is Huey and Ming. And so almost immediately, Riley and Ed's grandson start glazing Huey, talking about something.
Let's go, Huey!
Show him what's good, Huey!
And then Huey starts feeling himself and he's like,
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
And then he chucks that son of a bitch. But Ming, being a tryhard and training for this her literal entire life, kicks the ball out of orbit effortlessly. And then Huey's looking distraught. He's like, I done lost my game. And then Riley and Ed start glazing again, saying,
You suck, Huey!
Worthless motherfucker!
So after Ming secures her team's first point, the next person to step up on the plate is Jack and Chan's brother, sister, fuck it. An old person who has type 2 diabetes, ACL problems, and diarrhea issues. And so Huey's looking at us like, y'all see this too, right? And for a split second, he actually thinks about going easy on him. But then he remembers what's at stake and then he launches that shit. And so this woman flips so eloquently that it plays 3 different fucking times and then she kicks the fuck out that ball.
Home run.
Huey Huey had the same expression on my face when I found out furries existed for the first time. And then Ed Monster walks up to him, pressing shit, trying to get his star player to tighten up. And then this man Huey was genuinely like,
"What the hell do you call this?
Trying, all right?
Get your shit together."
But you see, Monster forgot. This is our MC after all. And Huey takes a deep breath. And strikes out 2 kickers on the opposite team. And so when Huey gets the ball back, he looks up and he sees, oh God. And so Huey doesn't try and think about it. He just chucks that son of a bitch as hard as he could. But when this big chicken kicked the ball, God dang!
We need some milk.
This dude almost killed Ed Monster's grandson with a kickball, bro. Listen, I understand it's a game of kickball for $20 billion on Ed Monster's side and everybody on the Americans team's neighborhoods, but like, bro, what do these people have at stake to be playing like this? Like, look at his face when he got hit with the ball. And so despite Ed almost dying to that kickball, his grandpa is nonetheless proud of him because at the end of the day, he still caught the ball and he's like,
"Good job, boy. This game is more important than you. Someone get him some Demerol. But make sure it's the good stuff."
And so enough with that, we finally got our star player Huey in the kicker's pit, and you already know his whole crew cheering him on, and Ming is looking like she's really about to do something, so she throws that, but little does she know, home run, as expected. So then Riley steps up really thinking he's gonna hit a home run. Announcer and everybody else looking shook, they're like,
"Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy."
And they were exactly right. This dude got striked out 3 times in the exact same way.
Good grief.
And so Huey steps back up to the play and then, oh God. Now for anyone who doesn't know, this is Tom Dubois, say hello. And to sum up his character, I'm gonna just let this play.
It's gonna burn for me to say this, but it's coming from my heart. It's been a long time coming, but we fell apart.
Yeah, so basically he got his bitch took by Usher and he actually signed up for this baseball game to redeem himself. Now hold up before we jump to conclusions. Ming throws the ball and he actually kicks the mess out that ball. He's celebrating early as shit, really thinking he hit a home run, but little does he know,
You finna die, baby. It's gonna burn for me to say this.
you'll get him next time, champ. And so the game continues, the big dude putting in work, tackling this dude to get the first place, and then Mitch, Riley's ex-bully, is right there about to make it to home base, score their team a point, but I guess the crowd or the team, I don't know who's throwing these shoes, but that nigga got bombarded by them. And so the same guy that got tackled is on his way to second base, and then the Chinese team comes out of nowhere with brass knuckles, a baseball bat in their hands, and starts beating them out of him. He might take the title of the Krillin of the Boondocks, because Jesus Christ. And so after that completely horrific excuse for a first quarter, we cut to the Boondocks cast losing all types of hope, sitting on the bench completely just sad. And then Ed Monster starts getting on that case saying,
"Okay, maybe it was a wrong decision to bet all of our economic futures on a kickball game.
Well, no fucking shit.
But we're Americans. We don't quit just because we're wrong. We just keep doing the wrong thing until it turns out right."
Man, I ain't never heard such true words in my life. But then he tries to guilt trip Huey into staying, talking about how everyone's losing their dignity, honor, and shit. Talking about how everyone's getting their ass whooped for this game. And after a little bit of convincing, Huey finally gives in. He's like, alright, bet. And so he steps up to the plate, Mean throws the ball, and he launches that shit out the park. Got the whole crowd cheering. And that kick allowed his team to get 3 home runs. And then a little intermission before the game continues. This ref was actually paid off by the Chinese, which is how the Chinese were able to just do whatever they wanted. And so that's when Ed Monster hires a mercenary and... So then it cuts to halftime and Huey walking up on Ming, and he's like,
"Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose."
And so we cut back to the kickball field. Monster explains what happened to the original ref.
"Tragically, we've just received word that the ref strangled himself, jumped off a bridge, then overdosed on amphetamine."
And they replaced the ref with my goal.
Yeah,
But that ain't really help, cause when Huey finally gets back to pitching, he starts throwing these weak-ass pitches because he actually felt bad about what he said earlier. And halfway through him being nice, this kid says, and then they all start laughing at him. The kid continues talking shit.
You go, nigga.
And Huey, as we know from earlier in the episode when he crashed out on that one girl, he does not like to be laughed at. So then he finally ties the fuck up and knocks them both the hell out.
They saying your language.
And then when he pitches to the next person, he kicks the ball so hard that it knocks him to the fence and that shit was still spinning. And so the game continues. This little Chinese kid is trying to run a second base, and then Huey hits him with a... Oh my God. Now look, I know he don't like to be laughed at, but this man Huey was done playing games, bruh. Matter of fact, both sides of the team were done playing games. Tom Dubois gets tripped in an elbow to the back of the neck. Both teams getting teeth knocked out, backs being broken, blood coming out their nose. And then that's when the Chinese side tries to bribe Uncle Ruckus, and he's like,
Hold on. Your money ain't worth shit to me. So don't waste your cat flavor breath. Get on your rickshaw, get out of here.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Anyways, the score is now 8-8, dead even. Both teams are absolutely cooked. Like, look at this. And then the final matchup is Ming on the kicking stand and Huey in the pitching side.
And I say to you now, oh yeah, yes, it did.
But when the singing stops, that's when this game of kickball finally starts to reach its climate. So Huey takes a page out of Aang's book and starts charging up the ball with an air tag. I ain't gonna lie, my boy was looking sway here. So then he throws out the ball, jumps, kicks it with all his might. I'm talking the ball was on fire. And then Ming tries to kick it with her chi wrapped around her foot. And it kicks, but she breaks her leg. And Ming, putting all her effort into that kick, she actually kicks it directly to Huey and he tries to catch it. But that shit had way too much force behind it, so it breaks his arms. So then the ball blows up, which the announcer says,
The ball! And those red balls are indestructible.
and then Huey, being the dog that he is, stands up, picks up the remains of the ball, and tosses it onto her. Which finally scores the Boondocks cast.
We will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith.
Welcome everybody to my first video of 2025. I might be a little late, but don't worry about it. In this video, we're gonna be digging into what if Dr. Martin Luther King survived. Boondocks edition. So make sure you grab your food, subscribe, and
let's go right into the news.
All right, now we begin this episode with a slight recap of MLK's story. But in this reality, 32 years passed where everyone waited for an update on what happened, in which the people never got one. Dr. King faded into memory with there being no national holiday. Then, on October 27th of 2000,
I have a dream.
Then after a week from waking up from his coma, the first thing he does is show up at a poll office to vote for the presidential election, which he was turned away due to voting irregularities. Honestly, y'all, I think he would have been the first black president if he wasn't shot in real life, but hey, it is what it is. But as word got out that black people's king was still alive, they took to every street with the name Martin Luther King on it, praying to God that they would find him lacking, in which...
Oh, my MLK! Hey, what's up, folks? Hey, that got a dream was off the chain.
And Dr. King quickly realized that his own streets were not safe. Now, bro was already getting to the bag, signing a 7-figure deal for his autobiography called Dreams Deferred, a very fitting title. Got a $100 million biopic greenlit by Columbia Pictures and went on to host the MTV Video Music Awards with none other than Sean John Combs, better known as P. Diddy. Yada yada yada. He had his biopic released in theaters 1 week after 9/11. I'm gonna say that again. 1 week after 9/11. Then he went on the talk show of Politically Incorrect, where he screwed up all his motion by saying,
They should respond to the terror attacks of 9/11.
Well, as a Christian, we are taught that you should love thy enemy, and if attacked,
you should turn the other cheek.
And he really thought that 1965 peacemaking shit was gonna work. I can't believe it. America was outraged. They spun his words around, making it seem like he was an advocate of Osama bin Laden. And hold on, y'all, I'm almost done. In December of 2001, CNN named him the 10 most unpatriotic Americans. His 7-figure book deal was trashed, along with his house being vandalized. Now, folks, this is a prime example of you can say and do everything right, and people will still find a way to hate you. Like, this man is literally the sole reason for almost anyone of color being able to live the way we do. And they tossed him out like he was nothing. Anyways, about 5 years later, his book was picked up by a bootleg publishing company, renaming his book Dreams Deterred, and he was hosting a book signing in a Woodcrest library, which is when finally...
And who am I making this out to?
Huey Freeman.
And obviously, chat, a 10-year-old boy can't drive, which is when an angry granddad walks in, and you guessed it,
Robert Freeman?
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
These two old heads knew each other. Robert had the nerve to ask this man how he's been, and King just says,
well, I was shot and had a bit of a coma for a few decades.
Yeah, I heard. I sent you a card. Did you get it?
Is this nigga serious? Anyways, Robert invites him over to dinner, and Martin tries the "I'm busy" line, and well. And while they were walking to the car, Dr. King tells Robert that they got him staying in some hotel. And as they're talking about his mistreatment, they get interrupted by...
Yeah, boy, Cotton Baboon! Dance there, you goddamn chunky cheek monkey.
My goat! Ruckus walks up to them telling Robert to get out his way, talking about something.
That hands between me and Martin Luther, so-called King.
But you see, Martin Luther looked confused. He ain't know who the hell this man was. In which Ruckus does a damn good job of letting him know he been throwing bricks at this man since 1959.
You know why?
Hey, shut the hell up, you black son bitch. Thank God for the white man's infinite mercy, Martin Luther King.
Alright, first and foremost, what the hell is that cut on his head? And second, that sign is crazy. Anyways, at the end of the flashback, he chants undubitable racism before chucking a brick at him, and we cut back to the present with Robert telling him to stop all that nonsense and invites even Ruckus to the dinner. So at the dinner table, we find out that this man Robert was prank calling Rosa Parks. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit there for a second. In which Robert denies saying she was lying. Then Martin says, she had the caller ID, Robert.
You prank called Rosa Parks?
She stole my thunder.
Yeah, so apparently we find out that Robert Freeman was on the bus with Miss Parks and part of the whole Montgomery bus boycott, and well, this is basically how it went.
Okay, this is it, brother. Remember, no matter what they do, nobody gives up their seat.
12 seconds later.
Go ahead on to the back.
We's moving, Mr. Boss Man.
Yeah, these baboons did not stand on business, so the cops eventually asked Robert to get up, and Robert
I can get back there real quick. This here far enough
said no. Now you might be confused, but just stick with me, hold on. The cop lets Robert slide no problem, then proceeds to ask Rosa to get up, and she tells him the same thing.
No.
But this time,
I am not going to move.
Everybody starts glazing and acting shocked at her answer. Appalled at her response, the police asks,
what are you, some kind of history-making crusader for justice?
Yes, we are.
And see, folks, this the part Robert was wrong about. He used the word we, cause ain't not one person on that bus gave a flying shit about Robert saying no, but when Rosa said no,
Stay strong, Sister Rosa.
So yeah, Robert was basically hoed, and the dinner ends with Tom on some zesty time and talking about some, we are very honored to meet you. Like, get back, nigga! Anyways, we proceed to Martin watching present day Black TV, 2006 TV to be specific, and he is appalled. Dr. King asks Huey,
what happened to our people?
I think everyone was waiting for Martin Luther King to come back.
Man, this is honestly real, y'all. I feel like if MLK never died, we would have never had the rise in YN culture. Anyways, we cut to the next day with Martin refusing to go to his interview, and Huey hits him with a,
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you get out of that room and continue to fight for freedom and justice this instant.
And while they're prepared for the interview, we see Martin feeling like he lost his touch in the world. He starts to view it as more and more of some kind of joke, and he starts to feel defeated. The whole time Huey was trying to restore the king, but he just wasn't going for it. And during the interview, he gets crushed. The interviewer sets his ass up with the question,
might be considered extremely leftist by some.
Do you love America?
Sorry?
You sure as hell are, buddy. Why can't liberals ever answer that?
12 seconds later.
We'll be back with more fair and balanced coverage.
On their way home, Dr. King leaves Huey with some advice, letting him know that violence ain't always the answer. And I wish that were true. But this is when we get a nice little montage of the two of them creating a political office to get MLK's name out there again. Then while Huey was in the office, he hears on the radio that they were giving away free tickets to their emergency action plan meeting on 95.5 WFRK The Freak. And when Huey asked Dr. King about it, well,
was that bad?
Yes. Now, when we cut to the emergency action plan meeting, we see a whole plethora of black people crowding the building thinking this finna be a function, but when Huey and Martin go up to the door, the bouncer wasn't letting him in.
My name is
I'll tell you right now, y'all ain't getting in without no free man.
Huey checks him, telling him it's his event, and when MLK tells him who he is, this man has the nerve to say,
"Now Malcolm X, nigga."
Sir,
please. 50 bucks.
What?
And yes, they actually get pressed into paying that money. And basically, the whole event was consumed by absolute black activities. And when they try getting backstage, they get stopped again before a fight breaks out and the bouncer gets distracted. Which is when MLK finally takes the stage, but they weren't listening. So to get their attention, he had to talk in their own language.
Will you ignorant niggas please shut the hell up?
And everyone stopped immediately. This is when enough is enough and Dr. King starts talking his shit. This man said,
"Is this it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for?"
Then he activates his I Have a Dream speech one last time.
And you don't want to be a nigga, cause niggas are living contradictions. Niggas are full of unfulfilled ambitions. Niggas wax and wane. Niggas love to complain.
And he proceeds to go on for a good minute until he finally ends it off with,
"You niggas have nothing to celebrate. And no, I won't get there with you. I'm going to Canada."
And he wishes Huey good luck with his life and walks away, never to be seen again.
I